What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. So I found something really interesting with the Interledger protocol and the deals in specific with two digital assets that I did not know were tied in directly with the ILP. First, I want to go over some news and a brief disclaimer. If you see any ads before this video stating you send an amount of crypto and they will send an amount of crypto back that is more than what you send, that is a scam. Please do not participate in anything like that. Okay, also, real quick, I've gotten comments on here occasionally, XRP won't go anywhere, blah, blah, blah. I could care less what other people's opinions are on the matter. I always state this is not financial advice. I make my own decisions. I'm a grown adult. I would imagine that everybody else can do the same thing. So I will continue to present the news that I want to present. All right. First, China's blockchain infrastructure to extend global reach with 6 public chains. And I also saw another article today saying that China's blockchain, their state blockchain initiative is now going to be split between two different branches. One headed by the state and another headed by a private company. I guess they're having some issues over there. I do know that China is way far ahead, or at least we're led to believe that they are much further ahead than United States and portions of Europe as far as adoption is concerned, which is a bit concerning. All right, now China's state-backed blockchain service network, the BSN, has integrated with 6 public chains, including Tezos, Neo, Nervos, EOS, and IrisNet, and also Ethereum. I took a look at the prices of these today, and as you can expect, actually, I should have hopped on Tezos because right when I saw this article early this morning, it was down negative like 1 point something percent, and now I'm sure it's still up as of now. So great news for adoption for those digital assets and those initiatives. Now, Russia today changed its draft bill regulating crypto and digital assets. You won't go to jail for facilitating crypto deals in the country, at least not yet. And from my understanding from this, basically saying that the new draft bill is more of a neutral bill, and it suggests that crypto is a kind of property that cannot be accepted as a means of payment. SBI, this is SBI Japan. Episode 6 secures $7 million to accelerate global growth as demand for digital transformation increases. You can look more into that if you are interested. The funding round was also led by HSBC, included investments from MasterCard, SBI Investment Company, which first invested in Episode 6 through its FinTech Business Fund in 2017. ICC Trade Finance Survey, 84% of banks say digital supply chain finance is a high priority. I do believe they put a number in here stating that $10 to $20 billion of trade finance via blockchain was conducted. 10% of the banks stated that. Now, Alpha Sigma Capital invests in blockchain financial operating system company Quant Network. The little shot at Ripple in here, I don't know if I can, yeah, here it is. This Alpha Sigma says, we just recognize that Quant is doing what Ripple promised. Quant and SIA Europe successfully tested cross-blockchain interoperability between multiple distributed ledger technology protocols on SIA's interbank network, SIANet. Now, this is Vechain. Italy's Coldiretti and Princess tap Vechain for farm produce tracking, which is cool. It's more adoption for Vechain. I believe there's a lot of distributed ledger technology pilot, which will seek to bring more transparency to the nation's tomatoes and vegetable supply chains, will involve a massive 300 companies, 17 consortiums, and 6 agriculture associations. So that's big for Vechain. This was interesting today. This was a bill being drafted up through the House of Representatives. And this has to do with FinCEN. If you're not aware what FinCEN is, it's the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, which is a direct department of the United States Treasury. And it doesn't look like they're attacking fraud here. It looks like they're trying to integrate blockchain into FinCEN. So this says the status of implementation and internal use of emerging technologies. This is the director of Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, shall carry out a study on the status of implementation and internal use of emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence, digital identity technologies, blockchain technologies, and other innovative technologies within FinCEN. Whether AI, digital identity technologies, blockchain technologies, and other innovative technologies can be further leveraged to make FinCEN's data analysis more efficient and effective. Better utilize blockchain. It does talk about digital assets in here as well. The role that emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence, digital identity technologies, blockchain technologies, virtual assets, and related exchanges, and online marketplaces. So, I mean, it's across the board, people. It's very much so in black and white as far as what is going on. Now, this was from the UN today. I saw this. This may have been late last night, and I just happened to capture this one little snippet of it, which is Society 5.0, Japan's strategic vision for the future. And it does talk directly about fintech, blockchain technology, and open application programming interfaces for cashless payments. In the words of the Society 5.0 strategy, the society of the future will be one in which new values and services are created continuously, making people's lives more comfortable and sustainable. Japan will take the lead. Bond 180 completes strategic funding round and forms partnership with R3. They're just a tech company. FINRA approves Grayscale's Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin Trust for public trading. I do believe that Grayscale also has an XRP trust. UK Treasury unveils plan to clamp down on crypto promotions. So this is just a big document about companies that are marketing crypto, basically. I didn't see a ton in here, but still presenting to you guys. Now, this is interesting. You may have seen this, but I like always provide a little bit more background into these announcements here. And this is one of Ripple's strongest investors, launches crypto custody for institutions. I talk about this all the time on this channel. It's not just about blockchain or DLT. That's like driving a car without gas or driving an electric car without a plug. This is about crypto custody, and this has always been about crypto and digital assets. This is where all this goes. This is Standard Chartered, and around 20 banks have shown interest in making use of a custodied solution for digital assets. You dive deeper into Standard Chartered here, we can see right from their announcement here, they've obviously invested in Ripple, a leading distributed ledger company, to develop commercially viable applications for global trade and payments. And my Twitter has a ton of different stuff about Standard Chartered. Standard Chartered rolls out digital-only bank to 3 new markets. Banking the unbanked. This is, obviously countries that probably don't have as much access to the modern banking system. Standard Chartered's strategic investment into China. Swift multi-bank GPI payments launch. And what we've talked about before on this channel is, and even the largest financial institutions in the world have mentioned that they're building a DLT system, distributed ledger technology, crypto system, in parallel to operate with the legacy system. Sure, there's nothing here to see. Okay, now we get down into, this is Euronet Worldwide, partners with Standard Chartered. Euronet Worldwide is RippleNet. And Standard Chartered directly connects into Ripple as well. If you're not aware, this is their access platform, Standard Chartered. And external, Standard Chartered as a provider into RippleNet. So they provide access into RippleNet. Another one here, which came out yesterday, which I'll provide a little bit more backdrop on here. Finastra and Microsoft announced a multi-year global strategic agreement to accelerate transformation of financial services. I watched this webcast here. I believe this is a 3-year, more of an in-depth partnership. This is Microsoft Azure and Finastra. This is about open APIs and the choice to build upon sandboxes into actual production roles for the technology that's coming out across the board here. We can see Finastra obviously is RippleNet, and Ripple mentions on their website that Finastra's customers do have access to on-demand liquidity and XRP. We've also seen in the past Azure blockchain as a service update. This is Marley Gray, principal program manager of Azure, and basically talks about Ripple underpinning the new ecosystem that's coming across here. And I mean, everything's very, I mean, they're obviously integrated with Ethereum. There's more digital and blockchain initiatives that are being deployed on Azure, obviously. But this just shows you that Ripple is obviously one of them. and how Interledger protocol can also be used with Azure, which ties into the ILP section at the end of this video, which was very interesting to me because I've never seen it. Now, this is figure 2. This just goes to show how far back this Finastra relationship goes. If you're not aware, I've said this before, Misys and D+H merged on, I think, 2016 or 2017 to become Finastra. They were both behemoths in their own right, and they merged. Finastra, which is D+H, or was D+H, provides standard Ripple integration into their payment engine platforms. If you don't think that's the same case with Finastra, I mean, it's pretty black and white. This talks about Accentue building RippleNet as the underlying infrastructure for all of their cross-border payments. And it goes on to say that platform integration is done by D+H. We do know that Accentue also does platform integration for RippleNet. And obviously, right from here, we can see D+H, which is now Finastra, does as well. Now we get into this SOFI. This is very interesting. This has to do with this Horizon 2020 initiative from the European Union, okay? This was just a quick little video. I'm not going to make you guys watch it. This is a Guard Time. I guess they are a member of this SOFI initiative, and they talk about military, government. Guard Time is a blockchain provider. They're talking about military applications, government applications, national applications. This just came out in June of this year, June 8th, 2020. One like. Nobody's even friggin' watched this video, but maybe I'll play a second of it.
Guardtime is the world's leading blockchain company with actual production deployments in governments and Fortune 500 companies, tackling fundamental challenges in cybersecurity. And today we have several offices and around 200 employees around the globe, and we are focusing on data-centric cybersecurity solution in defense, telecom, energy, government, and space sectors.
Defense, telecom, management, government, and space sectors. It's very easy to see what's going on, everybody here. Now this project SOFI talks quite a bit about different Interledger initiatives. There is a ton to dive into here. I did want to get into this portion here. It does directly talk about Ripple. There's a section up here that says, before Ripple introduced Interledger protocol, there was just fragmentation across the board, and it's just weird that a tech company was the one that came up with something like this idea. But we do get into, all right, I'm going to get into the Interledger portion of this here. And just as a sidebar, I couldn't find it today, but when I found all this information yesterday or the day before, there is a deadline for, I think, December 2020 for this SOFI project here. Now, W3C Interledger protocol, that should ring a bell, and this is what we're going to talk about. And there was 2 assets in here that I did not know directly worked with ILP. Okay, Interledger approaches. The currently proposed Interledger approaches vary widely in their purpose and structure from the W3C Interledger protocol, which was basically invented by Ripple and gifted to the W3C, right? From the W3C Interledger protocol, which is a TCP/IC or IP inspired architecture and protocol specification for transferring money through Polkadot and Cosmos, effectively building another ledger to bridge different ledgers to atomic cross-chain transactions, which are time-locked and hash-locked based mechanisms. Now, that was interesting to me because I did not know that Interledger protocol was building directly for money transfers that were going to be facilitated through Polkadot and Cosmos. We do know Interledger is currency, or actually I should say value agnostic. But I had not seen, and I've heard of Cosmos before. I believe that's that Atom coin. Polkadot I'd never heard of before. It's on like, should I go into it? I can go into it real quick. Okay. I believe Polkadot was also co-founder of Ethereum, wrote the white paper. Now this is, I hope it shows it up here. It's not showing it. Hold on. It talks about up here that W3, okay, here we go. DOT transfers are not enabled yet. Allocations of Polkadot tokens are technically, legally non-transferable at this time. Any dots, okay, currently trading on exchanges are not sanctioned by Web3 Foundation. Please perform your own due diligence. And if you look down on here, again, not financial advice whatsoever, there's like not a whole ton of exchanges. I know OKX, I don't even have access to that one. But so I thought that was extremely interesting that the W3C is the protocol specification for transferring money through Polkadot and Cosmos, okay? Because we all know Ripple has a very deep tie-in to the Interledger protocol, and I was not aware that Cosmos and Polkadot were involved. You can see this Horizon 2020 thing here. This goes to show you, and I'll leave you guys with this, that Sophie initiative ties in with Horizon 2020. I always talk about 2025 and 2030. We know what initiatives end or are planned for those dates. Horizon 2020 is the biggest EU research and innovation program ever, with nearly 80 billion euros of funding available over 7 years from 2014 to 2020. Now, use a little bit of common sense here. They're talking about Interledger in almost every one of their documents. There's a ton of different documents. I would really love to see what some of the other deep divers in the XRP community can find through this Project Sophie thing. There was a ton of documents in there, and that video would be like 2 hours long. But common sense would tell you if they're doing this initiative from 2014 to 2020, and a lot of it deals in Interledger, a lot of it deals with Internet of Things and connecting different siloed Internet of Things platforms, which is exactly what they're talking about Interledger doing in that Sophie document. They obviously knew what was coming, right? So in addition to these private investment that this money will attract, it promises more breakthroughs, discoveries, and world first by taking great ideas from lab to market. So they've all been building on this for years, everybody. We all know what's coming. It's clear and plain as day, and it's written there in black and white if you're just willing to do a tiny bit of research. So, and if you're not willing to do it, I will do it for you. And again, I'll post as much XRP news as I want to because I really don't care. I'm doing this not for anybody else. I'm just presenting the news regardless. So last thing here, again, not financial advice, but make your own decisions in this space. I'm sorry if you hear my dogs barking. There's so many people that say tomorrow, today, today is the day. I've been sitting here staring at XRP being 19 to 20 cents for months. I hit my target with XRP and that's where I'm staying. Diversification is key in this space, not financial advice. It's just common sense. So, all right, I hope you guys have a good evening and I hope you guys like this video. All right, later.